One of my least favorite things about this sport is that the rules change based on the game scenario. We'll get into that later on here. Canucks coming to this one 8-11-1, Jets 9-6-1. Jets win 2-0 here on Friday, February 19th. Thatcher Demko versus Laurent Brossoit. Demko was 4-6-1 with an 8.95 coming in. Brossoit 2-1 with a 9.18. Brossoit's fourth game and his last shutout, his only shutout of his career, was December 22nd, 2018, a 1-0 win against Vancouver. Classic. This is classic Canucks, and this just reminds me of last year's 1-0 loss to New Jersey, where it's just like, oh yeah, we'll make Blackwood look like a god. Canucks coming with the same lineup, even though the fourth line was absolutely atrocious last game. So I don't know. I don't like that decision. Put someone else in over Jake Virtanen because once again he was absolutely useless in the first period. Scheifele with the lone goal that wasn't an empty netter. About 7.5 minutes in. Sort of an innocent pass to the point, Miller to Edler, and as the puck comes to Edler, it just hops like a foot in the air and goes over his stick. Scheifele gets a breakaway and beats Demko. Canucks were 0-10 after allowing the first goal, make that 0-11, which makes them like, what, 10 or 8-1-1 when scoring first. So do that more often, please. Ehlers burned Juolevi about 6.5 minutes to go in the first. Demko made 2 good stops on him. Eriksson took a hooking penalty with about 6 minutes to go in the first period. Canucks to the penalty kill. A point shot got tipped right off the start of that power play. It hit the post for the Jets. A couple of good looks, still got killed off. Penalty kill did not look anywhere near as good as it did against Calgary in those previous games. The Canucks penalty kill was absolutely excellent against Calgary. Not the same story tonight. Miller then took a penalty. High sticking on Ehlers, went for a stick lift and missed it. Demko robbed Connor with the glove on that one. That one got killed off as well. 2 big saves from Thatcher Demko. In the last 10 seconds of the period, the shots were like 15-5 for Winnipeg. Besser had a shot that got stopped. Juolevi tried to jam it home. Miller had a good chance. No one could score. Shots ended up being 15-9 for Winnipeg after the first period. So 4 shots on that little scramble there, but they couldn't solve Brossoit. In the second period, about 4 minutes in, Blake Wheeler takes a hooking penalty on Horvat. Wheeler looked really good tonight, by the way. Pettersson had a great chance, across ice feed from Besser. He got absolutely robbed. So that penalty gets killed off. Sutter, about halfway through the second period, had a nice little move. Left Gaudette wide open. Fed it over to him, and he missed the open net. What a different story this would have been if that one had gone in. 5 minutes to go in the second period, Demko robs Paul Stastny on it was a classic like NHL 21 cross crease. Puck goes like right through the top of the crease to Stastny. Demko slides over to his left, absolutely robs him. 3 minutes to go in the second period. Nate Schmidt on a breakaway, and the shot goes sort of off Brossoit's arm, then off of in here, and trickles through and just doesn't cross the line. Brossoit sort of dove back, covered it just in time. Stastny did take a penalty about 8 seconds later. Lots of good chances on this power play late in the second for the Canucks, but basically the Canucks' game plan in this one was get the puck to the point and try to deflect shots. It just wasn't working. Lots of point shots there that got killed off. And with 11 seconds to go, Miller gets tripped. It doesn't get called. And the Jets go and try to jam it in. It comes to Scheifele, and he just gets enough of it. And this puck went in, right? We don't see an angle that shows it went in, but that one angle where we do see like sort of the direct look between Demko's legs from basically the penalty box camera, I think. We see that view, and it's clearly rolling in, and then someone or Demko's leg or something gets between the puck and the camera. So we don't actually see it go in, so it can't get called a goal, and it is still technically 1-0, although it was probably 2-0 there. Shots in the second period, 11-8 for Vancouver, making it 23-20 for Winnipeg after 2. In the third period, Canucks were the better team this third period. And I think in the first 2 periods, it was pretty even. I think basically both teams played the exact same game, and the Jets ended up scoring a goal, and Vancouver didn't. The Canucks dominated the third period. Excellent zone time, just basically playing the puck around the zone. The lotto line was excellent in the third period. But they just couldn't capitalize. And with about 6 minutes to go in the third period, and this, remember what I mentioned at the start of this video, that the rules change based on the game scenario. So there's about 6 minutes to go, 5.5 minutes to go in the third period of a 1-0 game, and the refs just put their whistles away. So Höglander gets a check on Horvat or on Forbert, and apparently it was high. I kind of missed the replay. And let's just say it was. Let's say Höglander hit Forbert maybe in the chin, although Hoaglander's got like 4 inches less height than he does. But benefit of the doubt, let's say he did hit him in the chin. Then Forbert comes back and gives him 1 good cross-check, 2 good cross-checks in the battle, and then after the puck leaves this battle on the boards, he gives him 1 more to knock him down. And I see where the ref's coming from here, right? The ref probably noticed, like, you know what, I missed that call on Hoaglander, so he's letting this go. Okay, let's call it even, right? We are even right now. As we keep going, Horvat gets high stuck by Forbert with about 3 minutes to go. That didn't get called. And again, if this isn't a 1-goal game with about 3 minutes to go, that gets called every time. As long as it's not a playoff game and it's not a tight game late in the third. Canucks pull Demko with 2:20 to go. And then with 1:40 to go, Miller and Besser sort of coming on a 2-on-1. Besser's driving the net. Miller's on the wing. He just needs to sauce it over, and he waits too long. If he gets that puck through, Besser is all alone and has a good chance to tie it, and Miller just didn't get the puck through. Just at least get it deep in the zone. Don't let them turn around and go the other way. Appleton comes back about 20 seconds later and scores to make it 2-0 for Winnipeg. 42 seconds to go. Things get a little crazy, and this is something to keep watch of for Sunday's game. Hoaglander gets hooked by Forbert. And again, remember, from that 6 minutes left play, we're even, right? We call it even. We got the 1 hit to the head, and then we got the 3 cross checks back. We're calling it even. Forbert hooks Hoaglander. Ref's arm goes up. Delayed penalty coming up. Hoaglander smartly gives the puck to Winnipeg, so that way the Canucks can get the full 40 seconds of the power play, because the net's already empty, right? You don't get that extra benefit. So he gives the puck away, and then Forbert just jumps him. Forbert grabs Hoaglander. He didn't really get any good shots on him, but he did jump him. Like, he did try to start a fight with him. Remember, the Jets have a delayed penalty, so it should be 5-on-4. A scrum ensues. Everyone's mixing it up. The only thing I can imagine here is that Forbert should get an extra 2, or the game misconduct, and then leave everything else equal for starting the scrum. Instead, somehow the Canucks get the extra penalty from this scrum that Forbert started by jumping Hoaglander because he was still mad about that hit. So instead of the Canucks going to the power play, 5-on-4 with 40 seconds left, maybe you can get a quick one and then try to tie it up in the last 30. Instead, it's 4-on-4. And I don't get it, right? Is it that the refs just want this game to be over and just start thinking, well, if we make it 4-on-4, then we don't have to, then it's not going to go to overtime, we can go home, right? Like, I don't get why the rules change dependent on the time of the game. It frustrates me to no end. Either way, 2-0, the final score. Shots were 31-29 for Winnipeg. Again, a pretty even game. Just the Canucks could not solve the Winnipeg netminder. Let's go into the pluses and minuses for this one. We'll start with the pluses. The pace was good. And I'm actually going to jump over to the minus here. It was scrambly. The pace was good, and there was like a few 7-minute stretches without a whistle. It felt like there's good pace, but also both teams felt like they were kind of scrambling around a lot, and the goaltenders really held both teams in this game. On the plus side, again, Thatcher Demko was excellent. The only goal allowed was on a breakaway, and he just got dangled by Scheifele. The Lotto line was really good. Other than that gaff from Miller with about 1:40 to go, not getting it through to Besser, I think that the Lotto line was by far the best line on the ice. Every time they were on the ice, it felt like they were in the Winnipeg zone, passing it around, making good plays. And I wrote down zone control early in the third period. It ended up being the whole third period. The Canucks just had the puck in the Winnipeg zone most of the third period, it felt like. Again, just not able to capitalize. And they played a pretty even game. I'd say if you take everything that happened in this game and plugged it into a simulation, both teams win half of the time. And the Canucks were on the short end of the stick, right? They allowed the 1 goal. They couldn't score. And we end up basically 1-0 plus an empty netter. On the minuses, like I said, scrambly. Not enough high danger chances. It felt like the Canucks weren't like... They had a couple high danger chances, right? There was the Gaudette chance. There was a couple chances. There was the Uelevi chance, I believe, as well, late in the first period. A few high danger chances, but not a lot. It felt like a lot of their plays were play the puck down low. The Jets would sort of come in and protect down low, and then get the puck to the point and try to deflect a shot. And the tips just weren't there. There was one good tip by Miller late in the third that almost went 5-hole, but Brossoit saved it. And it just felt like everything was funneling back to the D, and it just wasn't working. And they needed to change it up at some point, try to get something going in the slot. Jake Virtanen has been in my minuses for the last however many games. I feel like it's every game, and it probably is. He played 5.5 minutes in the first 40 minutes. And I almost think that's too many. He was useless again. I'm just not going to bother. Next, again, lots of point shots, nothing in the middle. Like I mentioned, with the not enough high danger chances, just not able to get anything going in the middle of the ice. Again, barring a couple of chances. Game pucks for this one. For Vancouver, for the Canucks, I'm going to go Thatcher Demko. He allowed the 1 goal on Scheifele on 31 shots, or I guess 30 shots because of the empty netter. Just allowed the 1 goal. He was excellent. And for Winnipeg, it's going to be Laurent Brossoit. French. I don't know. I don't speak French. 29 saves on 29 shots for him, getting his second career shutout. Again, against the Vancouver Canucks. Anyways, that's all I've got for this one. The Canucks next play Sunday night, 7 p.m. at home against Winnipeg, once again wearing the reverse retros. Canucks are still yet to score in the reverse retro jerseys. Great. Cool. Maybe I won't buy one. That's all I've got for this one. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.